Welcome to EQ Educational Products, Puzzling Out My Temperament. This instrument focuses on determining the temperament type of a child. You can use it for evaluation or therapeutic purposes. By knowing what general temperament type a child has, you can intervene therapeutically or with regard to parental guidance so much more effectively. This instrument focuses on Hippocrates' 4 basic personality types. I'll explain more about that on the next page. When you open the software, you will see this cover page. Click on the white arrow to start. Right, now you will see the main page on which you are going to work. At the top, you will see the 4 temperament types represented metaphorically in the form of pictures of animals. For the melancholic temperament type, which is your introverted and thoughtful type, we are making use of the metaphor of a deer. For the phlegmatic temperament type, which is the relaxed and quiet type, the metaphor of the elephant is used. For the choleric temperament type, which is your ambitious and leader-like type, the metaphor of a lion is used. And for the sanguine type, which is your pleasure-seeking and sociable type, the metaphor of a monkey is used. Right, so what you need to do first is you need to click on this red build button to start the whole process. Before you do that, you can maybe just inform your client that you are going to build puzzles and that your client is going to ask questions so that you can fill in the puzzles in the different places here on the screen. So you can then start and you can click on the build button here. That will open the questions page. On this page, you will see numbers from number 1 to 64, and these questions represent all 4 temperament types. So the first 2 rows here is related to your first temperament type, that is your melancholic or deer-like type. The second 2 rows from 17 to 32 is your next personality type, that's the elephant. From 33, those 2 rows up to 48 is your next one, the lion. And then from 49 to 64, those last 16 puzzle pieces there refers to that last monkey temperament type. Right, so what you're going to do is you're going to encourage your client to choose numbers randomly, because you don't want them to go in numerical order here, because then they will start realizing that the puzzle pieces only pertain to the deer, and they will answer the questions then in accordance to that to build the puzzle more effectively. So you're going to choose random numbers so that the child cannot figure out that it's actually placed in order. Right, so now let's say we start with 36. You click on number 36 button here, and you will see it will create a blue puzzle piece. That's actually the underlying puzzle piece there. And now on the left hand side, you will see a puzzle piece with the specific question that you need to ask your client. These questions needs to be answered with the client's caretaker, so with the parent or the guardian or whoever is responsible for this child and who knows this child well must actually sit in the session and must help answer this question, because young children don't know themselves that well. Right, so you're going to ask the question and you're going to rephrase it if it's too difficult for the child to understand, especially with your younger children. If the child and the caretaker then answers yes to this question, you click the yes button, and this will now create a puzzle piece here at the top in the middle. Now your client has to place this in one of these puzzle pieces blocks. So your client has to figure out, they will most probably see that it's a purple one, and then you can left click on it and you can start dragging it, and your client can put it in the place where he or she thinks it must go. If it's in the wrong place, it won't lock, so you will be able to move it around still the whole time if it's not locked. If it's in its right place, it will make that sound and it will lock. So now you won't be able to move that puzzle piece from that place again. Alright, so it must lock, because otherwise it won't get a score on a page that I'm going to show you just now. So make sure that it makes that sound and that it locks into place. Right, and in this way you go on and you choose your next question. Any number you like. Let's take this number. It creates the question, and let's say your client answers no to this question. You just click the no button and nothing will happen because the answer was no. So now if the answer was no, you're just going to go on with your next question. And if it's yes, click the yes button and it will create your puzzle piece, which you can now place anywhere, and when it's in its right place, it makes that sound and you know it's locked. It cannot be moved now. Right. So now you go on in this fashion, you go on and you answer all the questions on this page to get a good idea of a child's temperament type. Let's do another one that we answer no to. Right. If you made a mistake and one of these no answers that you've answered to a specific question here, you want to change to a yes. Just click on your menu here and then go to discarded pieces. So those are all the puzzle pieces to which no have been answered. So you just click on that. And now you will see a page with all the different puzzle pieces numbered in the same order as on the questions page. Alright, it says here to pan, you just hold your middle mouse button in and you just move your mouse around and you will see all the different puzzle pieces there. Right, so there are the two puzzle pieces that the client answered no to. If you want to change that, you just right click on the puzzle piece. So this one needs to change from a no to a yes. So you just right click on it and it will create your puzzle piece again on your main page, and you can just drag that to its right position, lock it into place, and you can go on and complete the other questions. When you've built quite a number of this, let's say that this one is also yes. And that this one was also yes. And maybe this one was yes. This one was yes. Where should this one go? And let's say one more. In the end, it won't look as there won't be such few pieces in a block like this. It won't look like this. There should be more. But in the end, you will see that one of the temperament types has more puzzle pieces in it. That will give you an indication of the dominant temperament type of a child. All of this is explained in more detail in the manual with the exact questions and everything, all the instructions, all the steps that you need to go through to make this work. If you get stuck, you can also click on the information button here and it will explain everything that you need to know with regard to this page. Right click on this pop-up to close it. Right, and let me just show you now. On your menu page, you will see your puzzle building page. That is now your main page. Alright, your questions page is the page with all the question puzzle pieces on. Your discarded page, you know about that now. Let's just move to the menu. And then these 4 buttons, you will see there's questionnaires. You've got a questionnaire for a deer, for a monkey, for a lion, and an elephant. If you click on this, you will now see all the questions, directly the questions that you've asked the child that were on the puzzle pieces on the questions page. You will see that very same question represented here in this questionnaire, as well as the main trait that question is associated with, in accordance with your melancholic or your deer-like personality type. So now you can get a good idea of the different traits with the questions that go with it, and to which of these questions a yes has been answered. So only if number 3, that has to do with introverted question, do you prefer to play or be quiet by yourself rather than being in a noisy, active, robust group? If the child has answered yes to that question, then it's going to get a check mark in that box. So now you've seen there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 questions to which yes has been answered, and your total is 5 here. This is now not really realistic. It should be, or it can be, less or more. So now you can compare your scores with the different personality types by observing your questionnaires. So you can also now go to the monkey, and we haven't done any questions with regard to the monkey when I've shown you that. But if some of the questions were yes, you will again get those ticks with the score at the bottom. The elephant, we've only answered 1 question there. If you go back to your main page, you will see that the elephant only has 1 puzzle piece there. So there's only 1 question that has been answered yes to. We haven't done every one. So, and the lion one will show those 2 that you've done. Right, so these questionnaires now give a very good idea, especially when you compare the scores at the bottom, of which temperament type is more dominant than the others. You see your printer icon here. So when it shows on a specific page, it means that you are allowed to save and to print this specific page. And how you're going to do that, you just click on it and it will give you full instructions on how to print this page. Basically, you're going to take screenshots, and you can save and print the screenshots either from a program like Word or PowerPoint or Paint, or you can save it on your screenshot page in the file section on your computer, and from there you can save it or print it. Right, there will also be a video which you can watch in the FAQ section on the website with regard to this. Please remember that you cannot print any page on which the printer icon doesn't appear. That is copy protected, so you may only print a page on which you see the printer icon. Right, and at the bottom it says just left click to close this pop-up. And in that way, you can build your different puzzles, and you can get a very good idea of the most dominant temperament type of your client, and you can help the client in that way much more effectively in therapy or with parental guidance. Right, the other thing I want to show you, if a specific puzzle piece related to a specific question needs to change from yes to no, remember all these puzzle pieces here represents a yes. So let's say you want to change one to a no, it's been answered incorrectly and you want to change it. You just right click on the puzzle piece. Bye-bye. It will go away, and you will see when you go to discarded pieces, you will see that specific question that you've changed will appear here. So it now becomes, no, sorry. If you go back to questions, it will be reinstated with your questions. So now you can go back and click on that same question again and answer yes, and answer no to it. To know which questions fit with which numbers here, you can refer to the manual. At the back of the manual, you will see a list of all the question numbers with the specific question that corresponds with it. And in that way, you can just change questions from a yes to a no and a no to a yes until you've completed all your questions. Right, and that's basically how this medium works. Eco-educational products hope that you find this tool very helpful addition to your repertoire of evaluation and therapeutic media. Thank you for listening to this presentation.